Damn, I forgot. We got like 2 weeks of shit to talk about.
Right? Flip that page.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Go ahead, Derek. I got stories.
I was just gonna say, what's up, fellas? Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. It's a good day,
bro. Are you happy to be here though? I mean, let's be honest. Are you happy to be here?
Is it better than looking
Excited
for poo
to
in
be
your
here.
backyard?
I mean,
you know, that's pretty fun, but I
Looking
did
for
not
poo?
succeed. I still
Let's-
have to dig another poo hole.
Let's
So,
not digress from the fact that we are without an episode last week because
We are.
Tom was on vacation.
It was indeed.
And
That's where my
Derek and I were
stories
gonna
came from.
we're gonna give it a go without Tom, and we had it all set up, and Derek blew me off. He ghosted me.
We
So
thought he died. Well, Walt thought he died.
Yeah. What was pretty upset that day? I was kind of worried for my life.
I would have been.
I don't know why you got to give me such a hard time with the opening gimmick though. Like, I mean, this is twice now, Walter, that you've tried to executive produce our fucking shit into nothing. Are you gonna overdub some one fall shit onto my opening gimmick next, like you did Tom?
hey,
I mean,
man,
that wasn't even. Let's just get this out, and because this has been something that, you know what, it's time to bring it up. Everybody's noticed it. It sounds like shit, and it came out of the blue because you didn't come to us, you especially didn't come to Tom, which that was his thing. If you didn't know, and
Wait, we're back to the
just randomly one day we get one fall some bullshit 99 cents background. You know, what are you doing here, executive producer?
hey pal, let me ask you a real
Can we just each have our own opening gimmick and you just go with it? I mean, damn.
Hey, let me ask you one simple question, pal. You want to start talking about things that I've done for the show? When was the last time you can put a tweet out there?
Who's
Oh,
working on the tweeter
Stop.
machine?
probably about 4 weeks. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
What?
It's
probably
about
longer than that, bud.
that. You think?
All 18 of
Yeah.
our
They
Twitter
cut me off
followers.
from it. Okay, so sidebar, because I doubt anybody at work listens to this, so whatever. They cut me off from Twitter at work, and that was kind of my entertainment area from time to time. Motherfuckers block that shit.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to cut off a little block there. I'm pretty sure you can schedule them. Actually, I'll work on that.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll work on that. You work on putting Tom back into our opening segment.
So anyway,
I think we would all appreciate it.
Derek, that story was real interesting and all, but so I was on vacation last week, and I had and while I'm on vacation, I went to the beach, and at the beach, I stepped on a stingray, and he stabbed me in the leg, in the ankle, actually, above my heel. And did you guys know that stingrays are super poisonous? That their venom hurts real bad.
I mean, they killed Steve Irwin, so
yeah.
you know.
Right. Yeah.
Crikey, mate.
Yeah.
So
that was my first question: was did you kill it? Because you know,
I don't
respect
think
to the,
so.
to the
No,
Australian
no.
legend.
I'm pretty sure he got the better of the exchange, or she. I didn't see. I not that I would know how to distinguish male from female.
You did not have the time to ask its pronouns.
Did not have the time. No. So he whacked me right in the ankle, leaving a pretty good sized triangle shaped wound, as though his tail was made of a bayonet. So I bled like a stuck pig up the beach, leaving bloody footprints up the beach. I didn't know at this point what had happened. I just knew that something got me, and I was now bleeding. At first, I thought it was a crab because when I stepped on it, it felt like smooth and soft, kind of like a shell. I'm like, oh man, it must have been big. It must have got me with pinchers and really, gave me a good gash or something. And so squirting blood running up the beach and like trying to, I also have salt water in it, so that stings. And like trying to, I'm like, I gotta get back. I gotta get this cleaned out. Well, by the time I get back to the beach house, which was only about a block, I'd limped back, bleeding the whole way. And I'm in the shower, and at that point, this is where the poison takes hold, and it's creeping up my leg, into my knee, into my shin, into my thigh, and I'm starting. It's pulsing. With each beat of my heart, I could feel my heart beating with pain of pulsing in my ankle and then up my leg. And I'm like, oh damn, I got stung by something. This is venom. This is not just a flesh wound. So pain is becoming super intense. I get all cleaned out, scrubbed everything out, tried to like get all the blood's coming out black, which is not good. Like deep dark red. Which is not good. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. And I look up, what the hell stung me? And first thing to come up, it's like, well, it's either a jellyfish, which looks like this, and I'm like, well, that's not what it was, or it was a stingray, and it showed the exact wound that I had, and I'm like, bingo. And then they explained that the pain from the venom feels like you're pulsing, getting like smashed with a hammer. It's like a very dull's not the right word, but it's blunt. It's not sharp. So it's a blunt pain of just pulsing every time your heart pumps blood. So the only way it says to do this is to stick your foot in hot water. So I'm like, crap. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm in the beach house. I'm totally alone, completely by myself. Everybody else. My whole family's at the beach. Nobody's home. So it's just me. I'm in this house. I've been here for a day. I have no idea where buckets are. So I'm like pulling stuff out, opening closet doors in extreme pain. I find, those like baby bathtubs. Okay, I find one of those.
Talking about.
Yeah, and I fill like the thing you fill up with, you put in the tub for the baby. But so I fill that up with I try to get the water as hot as I can coming out of the faucet. Fill that up as high as I can muster. I'm bleeding everywhere. This is not my house. Luckily, the floors are like that, like laminate, like. This is not their first rodeo. Nobody had to replace carpet. So like filling up hot water, sit it down, get my foot in it, and immediately like it goes back down my leg into my ankle because like apparently it's a heat-seeking type of venom, or it goes to that. So that works for a little bit until the water cools off. But I'm the only one there. So luckily, I've dumped it out, filled it back up again. In dumping it out and filling it back up, I managed to bust the wound open again, bleed an incredible amount all over the floor. It looked like a murder scene in there, dude. I swear to God, it was the worst thing I've ever. And these are like it's like gray white laminate. So like these are like bloody, drippy puddles of footprint. And so finally, I see Evie run by, my daughter, who is 6 today, by the way.
Happy birthday!
And I'm like, Evie. She's gone. She jumps in the pool. But I'm like, okay, somebody came back with her. And my mother-in-law walks by. And I'm like, Mom, I need help. She comes in. What? Are you okay? Because like she saw it happen. And this is like 20. I've been back 25, 30 minutes at this point. And I'm like, I need more hot water. And I need to, and I got stung by a stingray. And I got blood everywhere. And like she looks at me. Now, mind you, I've known this woman for 16 years now. And so she goes, okay, well, I'll clean it up. I'll get you some hot water. She cleans up all my blood, and it was a gory mess. So she cleans up all my blood. She microwaves like hot water till it's boiling and just keeps filling me back up until my wife comes back. I'm still sitting there pulsing pain, like just almost pain where I'm seeing stars. And my wife finally comes back, and she goes, ooh, do you need to go to the hospital? I said, we're not going to the hospital. And she goes, all right, well, what about urgent care? I'm like, all right, urgent care is fine. So we go up to CVS. I'm standing there in CVS in like flip-flops. I'm not bleeding anymore, luckily. I'm just like, oh, it hurts. Okay, all right. I must have looked like a crazy person standing there. Guy comes out like, oh, you're here for a COVID test. Don't come in the store. And I'm like, it's not COVID. I got stung by a stingray. And he's like, oh, damn. All right, hold on. Let me clean up. I'll let you in. So he wipes up stuff, lets me in, sits me down. Then he's getting in there, making sure there's no barbs. So he's in my foot, like poking and prodding around. Meanwhile, bells and alarms going off in my head, like fire. And he goes, okay, there's no barb in there. It looks pretty clean, but I'm gonna prescribe you antibiotics just in case. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And he's like, anything? I was like, anything for the pain, because this hurts a lot. He's like, no, nothing I can really give you for that. You can take some Advil and just put it in hot water. I was like, okay. And meanwhile, back in my head, I'm like, there's beer and whiskey back at this. That's gonna help a lot more than Advil is ever gonna. So we're gonna hold off on taking these antibiotics. And so get back in the hot water, beer and whiskey. And 4 hours later, pain goes away. But I'll tell you from experience now, do the Stingray shuffle. Do not step on one, because it's 4 hours of agony that you don't get back. However, apparently it only happens like 1,000 times a year. So I'm special and an idiot.
Well,
that's my story.
Bro,
I've never been stung by a stingray, but I feel like I've lived it now.
That was second day.
Second day.
It was fine. I went back in the ocean the next day. It was all right.
Yeah, that's good.
It was good.
Oh, good. You got to face your fears.
I wasn't afraid. I just.
So speaking of some flesh wounds and stabbings, we lost one of our best stabbers in the wrestling industry.
We did. Recently. One of the best flesh wounders of all time.
I figured that was nice.
Say
nice
about New Jack?
segue.
Like, I don't think he was. I mean, it's like nobody has come out to be like, man, what a great dude.
Okay, so yeah, as a person, I don't think he was the most wonderful person ever, but damn it, he entertained me. I mean, I was entertained. I was not unhappy, and you knew whenever he came out, he was gonna give you everything he had. And I think Paul Heyman actually did a really nice eulogy for him. Yeah, Paul Heyman did a good job, and
I thought he did too.
And everything.
I like that. Yeah. Paul was like, I really hope that he told his wife to tell everybody that he died.
Yeah,
just so he could hear his own eulogy on TV. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. He was young too, like 50. Like he was just tweeting at people like wanting to have matches with him.
Yeah, in his 50s.
He's only 58.
Heart attack,
and
mad respect for the original gangster.
After watching Dark Side of the Ring last year with him on it, man, you kind of got walked back down his career path a little bit and seeing some of that crazy shit. He
was still doing it.
Yeah,
at 58. Not taking it so much, but he was dishing it out.
Well,
No, I mean, people, not to say they would line up, but there's definitely at least one or two guys in every town that's going to be like, oh, New Jack's coming. Yeah, I'll work with him. Yeah, that'd be great. I'll take a cut. I don't care.
Yeah, cut me.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Sure.
Getting juice from the legend.
Till he pulls a Wolverine shank out of his tights and tries to shank you with it.
You better be nice to him. Don't piss him off.
Until he punctures a lung or something with a Bowie knife or something like that. But
listen, I'm not hating on New Jack, man. Lots of entertaining stuff, during that ECW run. So yeah. Oh, I did see, however, that his family was doing a GoFundMe for funeral expenses.
That's sad.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Hopefully they get what they need. So
hopefully, I would hope that I think that there probably will be. I bet if we were to look right now, it would be pretty significantly funded. But man, that's the saddest part, really, right?
Yeah, I guess they had a bunch of his money tied up in like entrepreneurial things. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he was looking to retire at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could have retired on his.
Yeah, can't stab people forever for a living.
Or jump off of.
Apparently, it's not as good of a living as we would have assumed.
No, or jump off of scaffolding and through tables and fire, barbed wire, broken glass.
Yeah,
spikes, chains with spikes, bats with spikes, nails with spikes.
Yeah.
Nails with spikes.
All that.
Yeah. Spiky nails.
Spiky nails, all of that.
Like nails, yeah.
Stingray barbs on a bat.
Stingray barbs on bad.
Too soon. Too soon. Too soon.
The wound hasn't healed yet. Literally, it's still there's still a puncture wound. If I were to mess with it, it would bleed more.
Yeah.
Them triangle wounds will get you every time.
Too soon, pal. Oh shit. Hey, so I guess the Sonya Deville thing, the stalker, the performance center stalker that tried to kidnap her and got his ass beat, was found incompetent to stand trial yesterday in Florida.
Must have been. Look,
He's a little crazy.
How are you too incompetent in Florida? Like, what's the ratio? Like, is half of Florida not competent to stand trial? Because I feel like there's a line, and I feel like this is crossing that line.
Yeah, this is up there. I mean, you could Google Florida man right now, and
the
you're going to come
of
across
Florida
some
man.
crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
that's bad. Yeah.
So I mean, that's Florida. What's in the water? Something's in the drinking water. Alligator pee in the drinking water or something just must not be good for mental health.
I'll tell you what, man. It's like a whole nother planet down there.
You're not kidding.
Whole nother planet.
You are not kidding. I'll tell you what though. Hilton Head, South Carolina is kind of Ohio. But if Ohio had a beach, but it's the same people. It's absolutely the same people.
Well, that's because they all go there.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like, when we were growing up, Myrtle Beach was the place.
Myrtle Beach is too crowded. That's for me. I don't like crowds.
I don't like anybody. So.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying.
So, guys, let's talk about some AEW here. Looks like there's some trouble in paradise.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
The honeymoon is over, boys. There is rumors that there is legit heat between the EVPs of AEW.
As there should be. Two of the like they're all completely different, but they're all kind of idiots.
It's like, hey, I'm going to grab 3 of my friends and we're going to go start a company together that is completely based on creative thoughts. And we're all, pretty creative guys. This is going to go really, really well.
Well, I mean, on paper, that seems like it would make sense, except that
it seems like it's a great idea until you get millions of dollars.
3 of those guys are not very creative guys, and the other guy is such a sucker for nostalgia. He's basically copying nostalgia at this point. So
but let's also not forget ego.
There's that too. And there's a lot of that going, especially, man, the Bucks suck. The Young Bucks are terrible. Like, as much as I dislike Kenny Omega's AEW run, this title run, I will give it more credit. It's a better heel run than I thought it was going to be initially. I mean, I dislike him anyway, so the fact that I'm supposed to dislike him now is like, it works in a way where it's like, well, I dislike you, but now I'm supposed to dislike you. And at least you're keeping up that level of like, I dislike you. So this is better because I do dislike him. But the Young Bucks, like, they have like go away heat with me. It's like, it's Xbox. It's X-Pac heat right now. It's go away heat. It's like worse than Baron Corbin at his worst.
I'm having a hard time like buying their shtick, man. It's weird.
Well, it's like they're very like, it's like they're trying to make fun of WWE, and WWE stopped caring, and nobody cares about the Young Bucks. I don't know. I don't care.
Dude, it's way old. It's weird. Like, the limo stuff is weird that they've been doing. The new gimmick is weird. Honestly, it's the same thing. It's just got more glitter and different headbands, and they come out a different side of the tunnel, and they stand at a different corner of the ring. honestly, Matt Jackson is fine on the promos. Nick Jackson sucks on promos. I'm sorry, but he does. And a lot of the times, if you've seen one Young Bucks match, you've seen basically everything they've got.
It's too indie. Their shtick is too indie minded. It's very like I can go out there and do the same thing.
What are you going to do for me this week?
It's a different crowd, but it's not like they're having the same match every week with everybody, and it's like, I understand that this is set to pop Dave Meltzer every week, but we got to talk about him later.
We'll get to him. Don't worry, pal.
But it's like let me put it this way. I really, really love Metallica. I've really loved Metallica since I was a little kid, right? The whole album, Master of Puppets, is fantastic. I love the song. Yeah. I love the song, Master of Puppets. However, I cannot listen to Master of Puppets every time I put on music. Over and over and over and over again. Like, I can still listen to Master of Puppets 25 years later, and I still enjoy it. But it is not a song that I put on regularly because at this point in my life, I have heard it 100,000 times. I feel that way about Young Bucks matches, except it's not Master of Puppets. It's a Young Bucks match, and they put the same thing on every week. And it's like it's just like if like I was to watch a TV show, and every week, like 8 minutes of that TV show was just the song Master of Puppets, and you wouldn't watch that TV show, but that's what it is, and that's what a Young Bucks match is. And it's like, for some people, they like that. My mother hates the song Master of Puppets. And that's how I feel about the Young Bucks. I dislike them. So now I know how my mother felt about me listening to Metallica records on repeat for 10 years while I lived in her house and listened to Metallica. So anyway.
Well, in addition to that, Kenny Omega's run has been great. So I'm sorry. I know you said you hated that, but I mean, he's with them. I love what he's doing, so I'm not.
Like I said, this is better.
We've called him Spirit Fingers before, but he's doing good stuff right now.
This is the point right here, guys. Okay, Derek, you're like way into it, right? You love the storyline. Tom, you don't like the storyline, but guess what, guys? Kenny Omega is the focal point of wrestling right now because everybody's talking about it. The guys that don't like him, that don't like him are talking about it. The guys that do like him are talking about it. He has achieved his goal here. Everybody is talking about Kenny Omega, right, wrong, or indifferent. Yeah. And isn't that what this whole thing is about?
Sure. Look, like I said,
absolutely.
I don't think it's the best, but you know what? He's now finally doing something that isn't awful. I mean, it's awful, but it's awful. It's supposed to be like he doesn't have go away heat with me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's not a bad thing. It's just, this is what the business is about. It's about being the one that everybody's got your eyes on, and it's him right now. Whether we think that it should be that way or not. I mean, I'm not an AEW guy. I enjoy watching it from time to time so I can come in here and shit on it. But guess what? I'm paying attention to what Omega's doing.
Yeah.
I've went as far as to look up Impact matches. I actually bought the app. Remember? I mean, there for a time I had the app. Yeah. So he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
So at the end of the day, who's the one that's creating all these problems? Is it Cody because he feels like he's undervalued? Because he worked himself into a shoot? Like what?
Exactly. He worked himself into a corner. What do you want? And now you're going to take a few weeks off as soon as your baby's born. Of course you are. So we're not going to give you any huge storylines right now. What are we supposed to do?
But it's not even about that, man. Look at it from the perspective of these four guys. Okay. Cody's put himself where he can't shine. So maybe he's being a little salty bitch about it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably.
God, I don't know. I feel like Cody carried the company on his back when it first kind of came out because Kenny Omega had no idea what was going on.
Point proven.
And the Young Bucks were like awful, having the same match every week with the Lucha Brothers. Not that they've changed really. They're still doing the same thing for the most part. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, if there's turmoil between them, I don't know that it's necessarily the turmoil would be between them about what they're doing individually. As much as it is how things are being booked what each different person is responsible for booking. And I would say that if the Young Bucks are booking the tag team division, they're doing a terrible job, because right now it's their tag team division is just as bad. And yeah, I'm gonna say this: it's just as bad as WWE's right now. And
I think WWE's tag team divisions improved greatly over the last couple of weeks.
Actually, yeah, I was gonna say.
I can't believe you guys are gonna sit here and disrespect the good goddamn name of Dominic Mysterio. He is a champion, motherfuckers.
Now he is. But I mean, especially if you're looking at like what NXT is doing in the tag team division, kind of rebuilding with MSK and with the
young grizzled veterans and
even Timothy Thatcher and
Thatcher's back, with Ciampa.
Thatcher and Ciampa. I wasn't sure how much I'd like that, but man, those matches have been fun. Legado del Fantasma. Good lord, how good is Legado del Fantasma?
Wow.
Oh my god. Like, okay, like that's what I want. Like when I was expecting, like with people like, oh man, Lucha Bros. What I expected was what Legado del Fantasma does. What Lucha Bros are basically guys who are a little bit bigger than the Lucha House Party. It's basically that.
Oh, come on, man. Now it's not that bad. No. I fucking hate Cero Miero as much as the next guy, but it is not Lucha House Party bad.
Oh, wow.
Well, how you feel?
Come on, cool hat guy. What do you got?
Hey, listen, I'm enjoying WWE's tag team division right now, man. And I'm going to have to tend to agree with Tom here, because recently the AEW tag team division has been dog shit. Like, you've got some top guys over there. You got FTR over there. Come on, man. They're just misusing. Everybody's a heel. Everybody's in a faction. Everybody's feuding with somebody that has no relevancy to the tag team division. Like, they're shit in the bed.
And now they're like, oh, there's going to be a triple tag team belt coming soon. Like,
that didn't work in WCW, and it's not going to work now.
That's because Death Triangle needs belts.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, is AEW turning into WCW version 2.0 here? Like
that's like that's the indie level mark shit is what that is. That's like
Bischoff said it again this week that they are way too indie.
That is outlaw mud show flippy do bullshit. Is what that is.
You know what? And I've had the exact same thought that you guys had earlier, or over the time now, about is it too WCW? And you know what? My honest answer is, it kind of does. It reminds me of some WCW for sure.
For bad WCW,
you know what? I don't give a shit, because I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch it and enjoy it for the time I got it. And you know what's gonna happen in 5 years once they're off the TV? 10 years, 15 years?
Vince is gonna buy it.
WWE is still gonna be there, and I'm gonna go back to it and watch the exact same shit that I would have been watching for. It's not gonna matter. It's something different. Go enjoy that for a while.
Vince is definitely going to own, if he doesn't die, Vince is definitely going to own AEW at some point. Probably.
Vince's mummified carcass is going to still be making deals.
For sure.
It's not going to matter.
They'll wheel him out, and they'll be like, hey, bro.
You're fired.
But, hey, let's touch one more point here, and then we'll move on. What's this going to mean for the company? You know what I mean? Like, Tom, you think that it's going to go south and Vince is going to buy it up, or like?
I mean, I think that somebody's going to leave. Whomever. I don't necessarily think that there's turmoil between everybody, but I do think somebody's going to leave at some point, and I do think it's probably. I mean, you know, breakups and breaking up is hard to do, but. At some point, all these EVPs. I mean, quite frankly, they're not the cash money backing of it, right? If the Young Bucks go away, I don't think it's the Young Bucks. If Cody goes away, if Cody steps away, or one of them step away. I don't necessarily know. I mean, it'll change the product, obviously, but I don't think that necessarily is death to the company. I do think there may be a split in who's in charge. And, I mean, that's been a thing that's happened in wrestling before. I mean, that happens, you know, that's not uncommon at all. And, I do think that's going to happen at some point in AEW, maybe sooner rather than later. I don't think that's the end of AEW. Maybe it gets better. Maybe it gets worse. Maybe it gets more indie. Maybe it gets more professional. Who knows? Maybe, Tony Khan sells it and Vince McMahon buys it. I don't know. But I guess we'll see. It's interesting. I'm kind of surprised that it took this far. Is Jericho also an EVP?
No.
I thought he was.
No, he turned down that role because he didn't want to get involved in the inner workings
in
like
this
that.
right here.
Yes, he didn't want to be involved in any of
Jericho's
those.
smarter than everybody else.
Yeah, he stayed out of it.
Yeah, clearly Jericho's smarter than everybody else.
Honestly, guys, I think time and money heals all wounds. It's not going to be a big deal. It's just it's something that probably shouldn't have ever even gotten out, and people like us are sitting here blowing it up out of proportion.
No, and that's
Cody's
fair too.
About to have a baby. He's under a ton of stress. We all know that. And
it's easy to have children.
He's first time dead. It's going to be. There's going to be some bumps. It's going to be fine. It's all going to work out. Give it time.
Derek, I'm glad that you have such optimism for the future of your little band of butt pirates.
Hey, enjoy it for what it is for while I have it. You guys can sit over there and watch the same fucking show you've been watching since, 2014?
Baby!
Listen. Wow.
Yes.
It's not the same show. It's totally different.
The only thing that changed is John Cena is gone and Roman Reigns is John Cena.
John Cena was never a heel. Ever.
You know who is a heel, though? Dave Meltzer.
Bingo.
Yeah, what is this? I don't know what you guys are talking about. There's some Dave Meltzer
what a
news.
mark. Dave is just like Mark.
Derek,
Mark.
let me fill you in here.
Trash human.
So, do you remember Mr. Bruce Mitchell?
Bruce Mitchell, yes. Mm-hmm.
The guy that wrote
that was fired.
That wrote the scathing article about Brody Lee and AEW and Amanda
Brody
Huber.
Lee's death.
The day after he died. That Bruce Mitchell?
Yes.
So Dave had that guy on his podcast recently. And instead of Bruce taking the large platform with his core audience to say, hey, I fucked up, he doubled down. He doubled down.
Triple down.
And said he didn't think he did anything wrong. So now Dave is under fire because he's rolled himself into all of this Bruce Mitchell controversy.
That was stupid. So basically nothing's new. It's still fuck Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, but this is a whole nother level of fuck Dave Meltzer. Tom.
So, all right. Dave Meltzer, right? Dave comes out as this wrestling historian, somebody who's supposed to know things and understand things. However, I feel like what's been left behind is that Dave Meltzer, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, is a trash human. And I know that we're going to talk about more trash humans. He's also
seems to be a theme on One Fall WrestleCast.
It does. Okay, so Dave is a trash human because if you'll recall, and this doesn't have anything to do with Bruce Mitchell, but he is consistently critical of female wrestlers and their bodies. Now, these women are in better shape than Dave Meltzer has ever been in his entire life. All of them. Consistently critical of them. Never critical of men and their bodies. Only female wrestlers and their bodies. Consistently. Just got into it, just stepped in it with Charlotte. Like the last time we talked about this. Just stepped in it with Charlotte, and Charlotte like ripped him a new one. She was right to do so. And now he's stepping up to, like, this is going to get Dave killed. Like, not killed, but like people aren't going to talk to him anymore. Like, people love Brody Lee. People love John Huber. Like, he was the locker room guy. And to just double down on a guy who was like totally just like was like, it's COVID, they're lying, and all this other crap, and just like wrote this scathing, like he was dead, like he wasn't even cold yet. Just wrote this and like threw it out there. Got fired for it, rightly so. You don't do that. I mean, the man died, and it was sad. It was real sad. He left little kids behind. He's a better John Huber was a better man than Bruce Mitchell or Dave Meltzer could ever hope to be, even if they repented right now. And, you know, I'm not saying repent in the religious way, but like, you know, tried to make themselves not trash humans. But so to bring on Bruce Mitchell and then allow him to double down and triple down on what he wrote and said, I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't know. And Dave to say, oh, people have gotten things wrong before and didn't get the hate like you did, Bruce. Like, except Dave stuttered a lot more. Dave doesn't speak as well as I do. I apologize. My Dave Meltzer impression is terrible because I don't step over my words and trip and fall on my face and go, well, blah, 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 but, well, and then, blah, 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 and have all these vocal tics. Although the man's been doing a podcast and stuff like that for years and years. He's had way more time on a microphone and on the radio than I've ever had. Yet somehow he can't put a coherent sentence together that's not just run-ons. I don't know. Anyway, Dave Meltzer, God, what a mark, right? And then to bring on Bruce Mitchell and just allow him to double down on something that's not like Brody Lee's death is not like this controversial thing. It's sad. It's a sad thing, right?
For real.
Like, it's not a like this is not a topic that's up for debate. It's not like, oh, well, Bruce Mitchell was treated unfairly because he was an asshole about a man who passed away, and it was really sad because not only did fans love him, but the wrestlers themselves loved the man. And
100%.
Bring that guy on and be like, you didn't do anything wrong, Bruce. God, just dig a hole, stick your head in it until you stop breathing.
Listen, man, and the thing is, like, Bruce Mitchell had an opportunity to kind of regain a little bit of traction in the internet wrestling community and be that voice again.
Like Crow.
He had a chance. I messed up. Because that was his first opportunity in front of, you know, us as fans, like, since then. Because, I mean, you know, Wade Keller got rid of him immediately. Yeah. And all that shit, the torch hasn't been the same since. You know what I'm saying? But at the same point in time, you get this opportunity to go back in front of your core audience and say, hey, guys, you were right. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Like, you know, let me show you that I can still do quality journalism. And he didn't do that. Instead, he just said, I was justified. We just got a bunch of excuses. I'm giving excuses. Like,
I want to say they dredged up cancel culture, which for me is a non-starter. Like, it's, I was punished for my actions, canceled. Get out of here with that. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah, man.
But that's like, just, God, get out of here.
When you have a fuck up of that magnitude, you just have to own that.
Right? Look, I make mistakes.
That would have been canceled years ago, as it should have been today. So,
look,
nothing about cancel culture on that one.
I make mistakes all the time, okay? And when somebody calls me out on my mistakes, particularly at work, I am the first one to eat crow and go, you're right, I am so sorry. Let me fix that. And that's it. Most people understand it. Most people aren't perfect. I get it.
It's like programmed. Like,
and not only he had the opportunity prior to being canned to come out and fix it, right? Like it came out that he was wrong. He could have retracted his statements and said, look, I was wrong. I'm very sorry. I apologize to the Huber family and yada, yada, yada. Retract the article, come out, fall on your sword.
No, but instead, the torch
deletes it. Think about it on Twitter.
The torch deletes it. He posted on his buddy's little page and everybody finds it.
Yeah. I mean, it's
insanity.
Look,
It's downright disrespectful.
It is, and it's not like we're talking about like something that was like kayfabe or like, oh, I didn't like this, or this was a botch, or like
No, a man is dead. Like this is not.
Yeah, like a man died. Like it's not
and left behind a beautiful little family.
Yeah, it's
you
not like he blew,
asshole.
Yeah, it's not like he blew something out of proportion and made somebody look stupid because of a botch or something like that. Like a man died and he was a dick about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He demanded transparency. Fuck you, pal.
Yeah. Just transparency. The man was a private. Like, let the man's family grieve.
Transparent these nuts, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, jeez.
I wasn't a fan of this before. You know what I mean? And now that it's come out and he's tripled down on it, man, that guy, I'll tell you what, man. Like we're just sitting here doing our thing and he was doing it on the big stage, whatever. But what a piece of shit that fucking guy is.
God, I mean,
even us here on our stage that we have would never pull some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
and if we did, we would have hoped to be fucking called out for it.
I feel like we heard about it on a Sunday and we recorded that Monday and we were beside ourselves about it. We were just like, I can't.
A whole goddamn episode about it, bud.
We were like, I can't even believe, like, God, how awful. Like he was just, and it like this guy, God, this fucking guy. And then for Dave Meltzer to be like, yeah, you were right, blah, blah, blah. People have been wrong before, but you got it the worst. Fucking bozo. God, Dave Meltzer's like Bozo the Mark, really, at this point, right? Like the dude is just like,
he's a fucking stage.
It's like he's jumping from piles of dog shit into other piles of dog shit at this point. Like, what are you gonna do this week, Dave? We're gonna talk about how great the zombie attack thing was for the business moving forward and how it was. You're going to give it 5 stars. It was 6 stars. It's a Kenny Omega level match.
Oh, Christ.
I'm pretty sure it was 7.
7 stars. Kenny Omega level.
Yeah. It was in the Tokyo Dome with the zombie
thing. The zombie thing was so bad.
You got to get that movie tie-in, guys. You got to do it.
That was. If we were to talk about 2000s-ish WCW.
I'm going to make it a point to watch that movie before our next recording session just so I can give a small review and see if it was actually worth the millions of dollars that WWE had to have been paid to have that happen.
That had some...
But you know what? Like you guys told me earlier, whenever I was bitching about Rey and Dominic Mysterio winning the championships, it told a story. You know, it was part of the story.
Miz was eaten by zombies.
Listen, guys,
he might be on TV right now.
Guys, I'll tell you what, man. I popped like when it happened. I'm sitting here. I started laughing my ass off. I'm like, they're really not going to do this. But the thing is, I just watched Monday Night Raw, right before the pay-per-view, and Priest said in his promo when he picked the stipulation, all the superstars, all this, all that, the undead, I don't care. So even on Monday, he played it up, and then it happened, and it's like, for real. And like it was okay, like it was fine until it wasn't. When like they started like fighting the zombies and like it became a part of the match, and like get the fuck out of here.
So what took it?
So are we saying that Damian Priest is a necromancer? Is that what we're going with now?
What really took it for me is that after Damian Priest won, he was posing, and then the Miz was like getting eaten by zombies.
Yeah,
it was like.
Total necromancer. That's exactly what it is. He's got to go with that gimmick now. Wait, Aleister Black probably already has it in his shitty
hold on.
Vignettes that he's been doing lately.
Aleister.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. I knew it as soon as I said it. I was like, well, that sounded West Virginian.
I like how you tried to double down on it there too, pal.
Aleister Black, honestly, I thought it was more of a Dexter Loomis gimmick. Truthfully, if we're being honest about dead man gimmicks, I mean, even the Undertaker didn't like have undead hordes, right? Like he wasn't really.
He had druids for a little while.
He did have druids. I forgot about the druids. But the druids were just part of the entrance. Like,
I don't think they ate anybody though. They just
they kidnapped some people and they did some weird shit.
Yeah,
they're doing that whole Ministry of Darkness.
They didn't kidnap anybody. No, you're right.
They sure did. Yeah,
they didn't eat anybody alive.
No, they didn't do that. But
no,
I mean, kidnapping.
There was a line,
zombie.
you couldn't cross that line back then.
I mean, you could though. You could totally cross that line back then.
So
They crucified people.
Listen, I have to put this out here because since we're talking about this right now, a couple weeks ago, blood and guts happened, right, Tom?
Yeah,
And
I watched.
WWE executives. It's been rumored that WWE executives had said that match between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle set the wrestling business back 30 years.
Okay. Well, so this set it back 20
because of the finish.
But I don't know what.
No, because of the blading. There was obvious blading, and I think that was the problem. But this set it back 20 years. I mean, this was very late 90s, this was very early 2000s WCW.
I laughed because it was cheesy, and then it was bad.
So all I could think about was when they had RoboCop walk out as a movie tie-in. That's all I could think of. Yeah. Or when they had that Sub-Zero-esque character when Mortal Kombat was popular.
Hey, listen, sir, you respect the goddamn good name of Glacier.
Anyway,
that is right. Yeah.
Anyway,
he's great. He's now Sting. They both come out with snow.
They do both come out with snow. But yeah, it's an interesting. I mean that it screamed 2000 WCW to me. It just did, and it was one of those things where I was just like, oh yeah, bro, this is gonna be awesome, bro. And you know what I'm talking about, bro. But it screamed that to me, and I just couldn't. And it was really hard because the Mysterios match it was fine. It told a story. It was like they could have done that tonight on Raw and it would have been fine. But it was on a pay-per-view. But it's whatever.
Mysterio
it was
match
whatever.
Was terrible. That was so terrible.
It was whatever. It was
It was just completely unbelievable. Even more unbelievable than zombies.
Hey, Tom. Tom.
Anyway,
don't tell me that you didn't.
I won't.
You didn't appreciate Rey Mysterio's ring attire.
I did. I love.
Was it supposed to be like an old school Batman? Is that what that was supposed to be?
Yeah, it was the blue cape and cowl Batman.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was from the 50s.
Yeah, the 50s Batman. I loves me some Rey Mysterio, and I'm not going to tell you that I don't. Rey's clearly on his retirement run right now. Good for him for getting one. I've sort of been in the mindset of watching Rey as like Rey's getting his like, he wants to be in there with his son. He's clearly got some pull. I don't know why or how, but because like there's plenty of other superstars who are bigger than him that like didn't get this pull, but like he's getting it, and good for him. Because I like seeing people get what they deserve, and I feel like he deserves it. So it was fine. It wasn't a good match. I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with that. It wasn't.
I think for me, it was more them trying to hide Dominic's inadequacies.
I mean, Dominic's not going to be. So once Rey retires, Dominic's either, if they put him on NXT,
it's going to be sink or swim for sure.
I mean, he's probably not going to be much of anything, but
nah, they're just doing this as a favor. There's no way. I would hope not anyway.
And good for Rey. And I'm happy for him, and I think that. That's really how I'm approaching it.
I agree with you on that because, I've been pretty critical of him and this, and just recently it's been like, Rey's probably winding down a little bit.
Yeah, and that's all this is. He wants to be tag team champs with his son. Look, this is going to be a great thing for him to look back on. It's to be a monumental piece for his career. He's clearly like as soon as he retires, he's the Hall of Fame pinnacle, that guy that year
for sure.
And that's all this is building for. This is just putting his legacy on a pedestal and just giving him a, it'll be a nice package they put together and put on the network and have for Rey, and they'll talk to Dominic about it. And Dominic's truthfully been around for a long time. Remember, he and Rey and and Eddie Guerrero fought a
Yep.
ladder match for his custody.
For the custody of Dominic.
The
Yep.
custody of Dominic. That was
yeah.
Poppy now.
yeah. Ray actually lost
That is
that
his-
match. Ray lost.
No,
So
Ray won that match.
I thought he lost that one.
No, he won that one.
Okay, so that's why. All right, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
but he
That
should-
makes more sense.
But there was a false finish. That's probably why he thought.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm thinking about. So anyway, no, but that was fun. That was like on the pre-show, though, was it not?
No, that was on the main card. Yeah.
Was that the first one? That was the first match.
No. The first match was the women's match. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Asuka.
Oh,
Yes.
That was a
which-
fun match.
I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed Charlotte's Cruella DeVille attire.
I did too, actually. That was real. So I waited till it was over and I fast forwarded through and backed up and did a bunch of stuff. So that's if I'm not in order, that's
Wow,
why.
you're good. That's the only one that I remember in that order. So,
But what the point? And sorry to be roundabout. So the point I was trying to get at about this match was that, or about this show entirely, and particularly about the zombies, was that like it really mucked up what was otherwise a pretty decent pay-per-view.
100%.
Like that triple threat with the women was really good. Dominic and Ray was whatever, but it was the blow off. It was the like whoop, and then it didn't take too long, so whatever. And then go into some other stuff, and both the title matches were real good. Those were real fun. It was a good pay-per-view otherwise, but it was
I enjoyed
really
it.
hard to get back into wrestling after the Miz got eaten by zombies. That was really
And it was like early. It was an early segment too, and it made
It
it
was
really
almost-
hard.
I was
to,
going to
like,
say, I
middle.
can't believe that was in the middle of the show.
it was in
And
the middle
not,
of the show. Yeah.
what was it, like third or fourth match?
Yeah, it was.
It
There were like
was-
8 matches, and it was like the third or fourth one.
just-
It was like
yeah, it had to be
smack
the
dab in
third one
middle.
because last I saw was Johnny Drip venereal disease going back there and riling up the zombies there,
called
bring them
gonorrhea.
out front.
It's called gonorrhea, buddy.
The hell is a Johnny Drip?
Something about gonorrhea.
And you guys give me shit for watching AEW.
Although, fellas, what we're going to get next is a little bit of that Seth Rollins drip against a little bit of that Roman Reigns head of the table.
I can't wait.
That's going to be great.
Can't wait.
Just the way they're two separate characters at this point, and
Yes.
than they were the last time they met, and I'm so into it. And we
Because
got everything on. So that's the thing. So the zombie thing, that's all Raw. Those are all Raw guys. But like, God, everything on SmackDown is so
It's
good.
good.
It's so good. It's like, God, SmackDown is the most compelling wrestling show that I've seen in since Stone Cold was shooting people with beer trucks in the Attitude Era. Like it's something that like I am very excited on a Friday night to chill out and just like watch, like, oh my God, I didn't know I wanted to watch this match, but here it is. And it's just like match after match after match, and then it's over. It's only 2
and
hours
that's
long.
and Derek touched on that I think a couple of weeks ago. Where like the opening segment was like 27 minutes or some shit, and Derek, before we had a match, and the thing is they'll give us that long opening segment, but man, it is just action, 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 little backstage action, action. Like they keep that show moving very, very well.
They really do.
Very well. It kind of reminds me of how they produce NXT, because NXT's got a very similar like cadence to it,
It's more top guys
Yes,
on Fridays. Like these are all top guys.
but
Like it's very
Yeah, it's definitely obvious that they're making this more the flagship show anymore. They've got that new
That's where the
Fox
money's
deal.
at, bud.
They're hooking them up for sure. And I hope, it'll be a while from now, but I would hope that maybe they look at this and they think about whittling down Raw to a 2-hour show whenever they can finally
too
renew their
much.
contract.
There's just too much. Just too much. Too much money. There's too much.
It'd be a fresh
There's
contract.
too much,
I mean,
there's
yeah.
too much money in the ad revenue. There's too much.
yeah.
Well,
for
yeah.
2 million people on like a cable channel, like USA is a cable channel. Like it gets almost 2 million views a week, And for that, it's one of the highest watched shows that's not on like, your standard network like CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox. So it's just they can't whittle it down.
That's a good
There's just
point.
too much ad revenue there.
Yeah,
Sure.
for sure. So Tom, I got something for you, bud.
Okay. Hit me.
Andrade.
Oh God. So Andrade is a trash human now too.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, why don't you fill us in, because I have things to say, but I think you need to lay the groundwork here first.
So, Twitter is a thing in
There is.
2021.
No, we can speak Spanish a little bit.
World of professional wrestling. And I mean, I've worked in the restaurant industry for many, many years, and I've picked up some Espanol.
My
And
wife's a Spanish teacher.
my boy Andrade tweeted out some pretty fucked up stuff this week.
Yeah.
And I think he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So he posted a picture of himself sitting at a judge's bench in a courtroom, and with a gavel, with his feet up on the desk, and used the hashtag not guilty. And he was talking about some events that had occurred previously in the week. And that would be him being booked with Alberto Del Rio. And yeah. And we all know how we feel about Albert the River on One Fall WrestleCast. So I think that Tom is ready to kind of let the world know what we think about this.
So I really feel like I wanted to give Andrade the benefit of the doubt. I really did.
I did too.
I really like Charlotte. And I like Andrade's work. But
100%.
This is sort of just one of those things that's kind of unforgivable at this point. Like, Alberto Del Rio is a bad man. He's a bad person. Whether or not he did this thing, this is exactly part of his character. He beat the crap out of Paige. He beat the crap out of her. Absolutely 100%. This is not debatable. He beats women. He's an abuser. He abuses women. He's a bad man, and it's not okay. His release from WWE and their absolute refusal to associate with him is probably one of the best things that they've done. WWE. I'm not saying they're run by a bunch of saints, but he's too much of a shithead for them. He's a terrible person, and he's a woman abuser, and he's a criminal. He's a bad man. You don't associate with him. I understand. I would have understood from an Andrade point where it's like, well, Alberto Del Rio's putting on the show. I just got released. I'm trying to rebuild myself, whether through Mexico or whatever. And I'm gonna have a match with him because it'll be a good match. But I'm not really. It's a working relationship, and whatever at that point. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for that. Although I'm not.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If he takes that road, it goes unnoticed, and his working kind of gets swept under the rug. Is this him trying to draw attention to himself?
This is not the right kind of attention. This is the kind of attention.
It's not, but he's just trying to stay relevant.
This is the kind of attention that gets you go away heat. This is the kind of attention where you end up on a list of no, we're good. We don't need you here. Thanks. This is where you don't get called back to WWE despite your wife, girlfriend, whatever Charlotte being. And let's face it, look, this would be Charlotte's third marriage. I can't imagine this would be her last either. I can't imagine that him, being this way about stuff like that is necessarily going to sit really well with her, especially if it's an ongoing thing. Is it maybe poking the bear? Is it a one and done kind of thing? I think it's too far, but
who took the picture, pal? They were in Miami together.
Good point. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know, but this does not. I didn't want to watch the match anyway, but this does not give me incentive to want to watch Andrade anymore. I'm pretty much done now. That's it. Like, okay, if that's how you feel. I mean, I don't know anybody like that, but I'm not. I've got a little girl. I've got a wife. I've got, people I don't want to see treated the way Alberto Del Rio treats women.
For sure.
If you're fine with that, maybe go fuck yourself as well. I don't know.
I can't say I'm fine with that. I'm in the same boat as you. I have a wife and a little girl, but honestly, I think all it is what Walt brought up is it's just to get something over, to get attention, and unfortunately, society has a short memory, and it's going to be forgot about and moved on. Now, do I think you're wrong, Tom? No, not at all. But I do think overall in the community, yep, it'll just be.
I tend to agree with Derek on this one. I really do.
Now, I do think you're right, Tom. I get where you're coming from, and I totally agree on the human perspective.
Fuck that.
But as far as the community's memory, I don't think this has lasting heat.
Well, he won't be getting any of my money. That's for sure.
No Tom money for you.
Yeah, and the thing is, the thing is, pal, like, if this is a one and done, it's for sure going to get forgotten about, because there's rumors floating around that AEW and him are already in talks, and he's got the thing with AAA, and like, if this is a one and done, it's going to get swept, and he continues to just perform at a high level, it's going to get swept under the rug. I feel it.
I don't want to see him come to AEW.
But I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000,000%. I really do.
I mean, I'm done with it. And look, if AEW is willing to work with him, I mean, maybe I'm done with them too.
Because I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Speaking of Andrade, Zelina Vega was recently spotted at the WWE Performance Center.
Good for her.
She was probably just picking up a trash bag.
It said Zelina on it.
Yeah,
blue Scotch painter's tape.
Yeah.
So apparently there's been a working deal that they're gonna try to bring her back. Multiple outlets kind of have reported this week.
It looks like it's gonna happen.
So interesting, huh? I mean, I was one of the people that was adamantly behind her and her movement and what she was trying to accomplish, right up until she punched me in the mouth and she started an OnlyFans account. Because I said the only way that this can go wrong is if she starts an OnlyFans account.
Does that still exist?
Yeah, it's still there, I guess. I don't know. I'm not an OnlyFans member.
I mean, I'm not either.
Derek, is it still there?
Couldn't tell you, but I don't got that kind of money.
What's it? Yeah. I got OnlyFans money.
Nah, but listen, like, I'm into a Zelina Vega return, especially right now. Like, I'm kind of low on the Raw Women's division. I know Tom's going to disagree with me.
I don't think she comes back on the women's on the women's roster.
What
I think she comes back as a manager. I think for sure.
Who's she going to manage?
I mean, anybody.
Ali Esther.
He doesn't need a mouthpiece, especially
he doesn't need a mouthpiece.
Come on, nobody even. All right, fine.
No, I'm not acknowledging that anymore.
But you will acknowledge me
at the head of the table. No, I mean she could come back. What if Bobby Lashley leaves MVP and MVP goes to be a?
Never gonna happen.
Nah, I mean maybe you don't
That's
know.
Paul
I mean,
Heyman, Brock Lesnar 2.0.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I don't know. There's a ton of people that need a mouthpiece. Maybe Drew McIntyre, truth be told.
But that's
Drew's
your boy,
promos-
bro.
Huh? Oh, I love Drew, but
That is your boy.
what if Drew and Zelina? Like, how much better would that be? It'd be like Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, but Miss Elizabeth didn't say shit.
Well, maybe she could talk too. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Look, man, I'm just saying that like Zelina Vega being out there. Look, put her back with the with the rest of the you know with the little group that they had together before.
The only person that's there is Angel Garza.
Yeah, put her with Angel Garza. It's great. Although he is doing the great kick the rose up the ass. That's a good gimmick. Man, she could be a good
gold
mouthpiece for him. She could be. His English is not great though. She'd be a great mouthpiece.
Yeah, but he's got.
Yeah, no, he's great. Look, let him talk a little bit.
He's got that swagger, that charisma, bro. Derek, you know who Angel Garza reminds me of?
Who's that?
Rico from Real Shoot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's a good gimmick
for sure. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Tom.
He was a good
Anyways, yeah, he's awesome.
I'm just saying, I could see it. Look, you could put her with anybody, and immediately that person becomes better. It doesn't matter who it is. Maybe it's Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I would be into that.
There you go.
Right
now, there you go. Yes.
All
right, Booker Tom.
Okay, but wait. Call me crazy, but this just hit me. What about Seth Rollins?
That'd be good.
Be awesome.
Be good with that. Although Seth doesn't need a mouthpiece, but
imagine some of the
maybe
promos
Becky comes back and then has a run in with Zelina and yada yada yada.
Watch it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Lots of potential out there.
I love Seth Rollins. Look, you could put Seth Rollins on my TV. Like,
when's your girl Becky coming back anyway?
They don't have a date yet. I mean, she's being mom.
Apparently, she just signed a new contract extension. Sure. So,
but
look, it's got to be. I mean, are you kidding me? Can you imagine the pop when she comes back?
Oh,
when you
I bet you that's what they're waiting for.
Whoa!
That's true. Yeah, like we gotta wait till we have real crowds.
Like, okay, if let's say hypothetically SummerSlam, they can have 60,000 people in an arena.
Hey, that's what they're talking. They're talking about hitting the road in June, pal.
And I'm just saying, at SummerSlam, let's say you can put 60,000 people. Could you imagine 60,000 people blowing up when Becky Lynch just walks out to do something or challenges Rhea Ripley or something like that? Like, could you imagine?
Well, it'd be a lot of fun.
I mean, like, people would be drunk on it for a week. It would be like the best ever. And we can clip this when it happens. We'd be like, Tom called this way back in May.
No doubt.
Although SummerSlam's in August, but still.
Yeah. Hey, that's still a lot of build.
I just hope I don't have to see Rhea Ripley as champion until August.
No, her champion. Look, it's been good so far. Come on.
Man, I'm not. I'm over it already. I'm serious, guys. I'm over it already.
Get at.
No,
it's good. I'll tell you when you can be over it. You can't be over it
yet.
Like.
So what else we got?
Let's talk letter grades. Backlash.
Oof. If it wasn't for that zombie thing getting like an F-, it would be like a B, but I'm gonna give it a C.
I think that's fair.
Maybe a B+ without the zombie thing, but like
B-.
No, I'll give it a B+ without the zombie thing. It was a B+. So with the zombie thing, it was a solid C.
Derek, what about you, bud?
I don't even know that it's a solid C. I would give it C-. I was not blown away. It was whatever.
Was so hard to get back.
It was
after that zombie thing. It was right in the middle.
It was in a terrible spot. It was completely pointless. Why you would have that in there?
You gotta get that
Now,
ad revenue.
am I going to watch the movie? Of course, I'm going to watch the movie, and then I'm going to come on here and I'm going to shit all over it next week. But I'm not going to go to the theaters and spend $9 on it. There's
No, it's on
way.
Netflix. Why would you pay money for it? You can
And yeah, and I don't even pay for that, so it's fine.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Thanks,
We're good.
You're welcome, guys.
We probably all use the same account.
I don't steal yours.
For me, man, I give it a C- as well.
We're all at least within the letter.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. I thought the show was good overall. My cousin actually texted me last night, and he's like, "What a terrible pay-per-view." I was like, "Man, I haven't watched it yet." Like, I heard that like Roman and Cesaro was a banger. He goes, "It was like a C-."
No.
And I was like, "Bro, for real?"
No.
And then
there's no way that no.
Listen, so like it's funny because like I watched it, and so I texted him earlier today, and I was like, "Hey, bud, I don't know what match you were watching, but like that Cesaro and Roman Reigns match was fucking phenomenal." He's like, "Oh," he was like, "Oh, it was like old Roman," you know. I was like, "Well, yeah, but that was the match that needed to be had."
Yeah.
So like it's funny because like, you know, we come in here and Tom and I might shit all over AEW and Derek fucking loves it, and then I fucking pull Kenny Omega out of left field as the biggest star in the business. I just love the fact that like talking amongst the three of us, there's always such a different perspective on what happened. For the most part, you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things that like the zombie thing we can all agree was just horrid, right? But
so
I enjoyed.
He's gone for a little while because he's dead now, right? The zombies ate him.
I mean, he's got to be. Yeah,
we'll have to watch Raw.
Kayfabe's important. Is Miz TV on tonight? We're obviously recording this, so we're not watching Raw.
I know that there was an Alexa Bliss segment announced.
Is she gonna resurrect him?
Well, no, she's after Shayna Baszler right now.
But like, I mean, does she have powers to resurrect? I mean, she brought the Fiend back, right?
Yeah, and then she made him go bye-bye. Hey, and on a real note, man, I guess Bray's not handling Brody Lee's death very well, which is why we haven't seen him.
I mean, that stinks. I know they were really good friends. That's from a very personal perspective. It's like, that sucks.
For sure.
It really does. Because, I mean, it still sucks. It's not cool. Like, I don't know.
It hurts, man. It's real life.
Yeah,
I know we're all on here to play a gimmick, but it is.
I mean, I didn't even know the man, but it was like it really hit me hard, like when it happened too. And I'm like,
because you become invested in these in these folks, and like, you know, imagine what it's like for those guys, those men and women,
the guys who work on the road with him, the guys who drive with him, and just they're friends, and they've been friends for a decade plus. It's like, you saw this man every day of your life for 10 years, and now you went to his funeral, and it's like,
you just know, he's not a
young man. I know
anymore.
you're hugging his kid, like
loud, nuts, absolutely nuts. All right, guys, match of the week.
Roman and Cesaro. That was it. I mean, I think I had one last week, but it's been a long time, and I really liked Roman and Cesaro. It pulled me back into the pay-per-view after that zombie thing pulled me back out.
Just sucked that it was the end.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, it's like there were other good, like the other title match was on before that. It was also good, but I was still not over how terrible Miz being eaten by zombies was.
It sucked the energy right out of the pay-per-view.
It really did, but this pulled me right back into it. And God, Cesaro's good. God, is he good?
It was a great
match. I really liked the end because Roman beat him with the triangle lock thing, and the ref called it. He didn't tap; he passed out, and the ref called it. And it was a fantastic match. Cesaro looked strong. There were run-ins. There were but the run-ins, like, Roman still was dominant at the end. I like it. I liked it a lot.
I did see that the Cesaro arm injury was actually a shoot, but I couldn't get the article to load. So I will have to keep you guys posted on that one offline.
Yeah,
It sounds to me like the article was actually a work, so it was probably fake.
Could have been.
You
can't use the F word?
Was that I mean, I know there were matches
On the
last week.
article?
There were matches last week that I liked a lot too, but I've since been on vacation and I don't remember what happened. So we're gonna go with what's relevant and new. And Roman versus Cesaro
No.
stuff. I'll watch it again. Rebook that.
Yeah,
And you had a near death.
that's a great
experience.
choice.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, don't
Roman
downplay.
Cesaro, something we've all been
downplay.
waiting on for a while. That was great stuff, and
Yeah,
the way it
good.
ended was perfect. I mean, you get the win on Roman, of course, and like you've said,
I'm
Tom,
loving this
Cesaro ends
title.
up looking
This,
strong.
I
and
like
that's
I
great.
like when heels are booked like this. I really do.
It's fun.
Like when I don't like when heels are getting beat and bumped around. Like I like when heels show up every week. Like this was like I would have loved Brock Lesnar had he been there weekly.
Until last night, every champion, with the exception of Bianca Belair, was a heel.
Yeah.
So WWE seems to be on a little bit of a heel run themselves because they've always been primarily a babyface company.
That's what I personally enjoy watching is the heels, you know. I want to see someone in here and just wreak havoc and just be an asshole.
Yeah.
And
wreck everyone and leave.
Exactly. And that's why I watch AEW, because they're legit all heels.
Derek,
as you guys have pointed out previously.
Derek.
Yes, sir.
Derek.
What?
Match of the week, dude.
Match of the week? Yeah?
Yeah.
You know where it's coming from?
I have a pretty good guess because we're 2 weeks removed. So.
It's coming from Brian Myers versus Zack Ryder. Whatever his name is now. Matt Cardona.
That's his real name.
That's his birth certificate name. So, blood and guts. We're going to go back 2 weeks.
Oh, you fucking
I don't even care. I don't care that it took the fucking business back 30 years. I'm going to take it back 2 weeks because that was the greatest match of the week that I've had probably all year. I was fucking pumped to see it. The fact that Jericho's boys come out in jumpsuits from the prisons and everything, it was great. There's blood. Actually, they spoke about this on Busted Open Radio. Now, Bubba Ray, he thought it was shitty. He said there was too much blood. It's fucking called Blood and Guts, Pud.
I didn't think it was too much. I'm going to agree with you. I didn't think it was too much blood. I actually was fine with it. Britt Baker, I think I reposted this, probably just on my Facebook because that's all I do. Britt Baker said something about they were out to dinner afterwards and like Dax Harwood's head just started bleeding again, and she like dabbed it with a napkin. To me, that was like oh, you know what? I like that. I'm a fan of that. But no, I didn't think fantastic. So, I know it got a lot of heat, and like I guess there was some blood, and there was some very obvious bleeding. And I'm not into blading, but truth be told, like with these guys, I kind of don't care.
Yeah,
like I just don't care, and it's not. I don't care about them on a personal level, and I think that's part of it. Where it's like, oh, I got an infection because I cut my head. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, whatever. Get some antibiotics, man.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. Like the big cage spot, and then like Jericho clearly crashing into a crash pad. Like,
I thought, see.
Yeah, that was the only spot that the cameraman screwed that up. Whoever was the producer that night needs fired.
Whoever was holding that the camera, it was the camera shot more than anything else. And I feel like AEW does that too often where they mess up the camera shot. Because, like, yeah, you can't kill a 50-something-year-old man by throwing him 30 feet into concrete. Like, please don't do that. Because I like Jericho as a performer. Please don't kill him. You know, I'd like to, continue to listen to him talk.
He should have never been shown. It's been a good 10 or 15 seconds of reaction shot, and then
see. Here's the thing: if that would have been on NXT War Games, and that spot was in there, they would have set the camera up from the top so that you saw the throw, and you would have never seen the impact because you couldn't tell if like the cardboard diamond plate was going to roll up and show the crash pad. Like they would have filmed it from top down so that you couldn't see that shit. Like it's just bad production.
Yeah, that's all it is. It was poor production because no, you don't throw a human off of that would have killed him, right? Like you don't kill somebody on pay-per-view. I mean, although WWE's done that before,
Well,
but still.
that was on free TV, pal.
No, Owen died on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm talking about Blood and Guts though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I was actually watching the Over the Edge pay-per-view. I had a bunch of people at my house when that happened. Yeah, it was wild.
I watched it. I watched the camera cut away, and I went, "What the fuck?"
Wow.
And then when JR explained it, I was like, "Oh my god, they killed Owen Hart." Oh my god, and yeah, he was dead.
Yeah,
so dead.
It was wild. That was the craziest. And then they finished. That's another fucking topic for another fucking day. Derek, what else you got on Blood and Guts, man? You good on it?
Derek? Yeah. Go ahead, fellas.
Okay.
Oh, the ending was amazing. I just got to throw that out there. The MJF holding the lifeless body of Chris Jericho as they beg him not to throw him, and they throw in the towel.
I like that too.
Yeah, and then we launch his ass.
I mean, I didn't dislike it. I agree that they mucked up the camera at the end. Like they should have just overheaded it because like they ruined the gimmick and like kayfabe's important.
Agreed.
But, other than
and it
that,
really stinks because that's 2 large shows in a row now that they've kind of had like, they had the barbed wire death match. The ending screwed it all up. Same here. Ending. Look, endings are important. They need to learn that.
Yeah, like the kayfabe is not only kayfabe important, the production of the kayfabe is like you have to hide that stuff. Like you can't just, I don't know. Anyway, that's yes, I agree. That's a legitimate criticism. However, I don't think they should have killed Chris Jericho to make it look realistic and be realistic.
It was just a bad camera shot.
Better camera angle. Yeah, that's all.
All right, guys, you ready for
right spot? Wrong camera angle.
Yes. You guys ready for my match of the week?
See.
All right. Well, so it really should be Cesaro and Roman Reigns because that match was awesome. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Sorry.
But no, you're fine. I knew that was going to happen.
Sorry.
My favorite match of the week comes from main event. Ricochet versus Mustafa Ali.
You know what?
So these guys have been building this little feud on Instagram. They've been cutting these like crazy cinematic promos on one another. Like Ricochet posted this video a couple of days ago. He's like drifting a Camaro around these corners and shit, and then he gets out and it's awesome. And he's just cutting a promo on Ali. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch this match. And it was fucking incredible. Like anytime those 2 guys get in the ring, it's always going to be fun to watch because it's going to be fast. It's going to be quick. Their timing is impeccable. Like the things that those 2 are able to accomplish with one another is next level shit.
They're the future of what AEW wants to be doing. As far as the flippy stuff, but they're the total package. Whereas they've got people out there like, Orange Cassidy and fucking. Was Joey Janela on this week?
Oh,
did we see Joey?
Damn it,
Any Joey? We're an hour and 23 minutes in. Had to bring him up. Was he on this week? Derek, was Joey Janela?
Had to do it.
Was Joey?
I didn't see him, but
we were so close.
I gotta have my Joey Janela pop-up blocker turned on the last time I watched. So
what?
We were
yeah,
so
it just
close.
It just makes it so you can't see it. It's great. You should, yeah.
Anyway, or Evil Uno, or who else sucks? Peter Avalon. Was he on? He's on like Dark.
Hey,
fuck Peter Avalon. He sucks.
What about Leva Bates? Is she still around?
Yeah, she's in the crowd, but that's about it.
There's a crowd. I forgot there's a crowd. But yeah, you're right. They're what AEW wants their matches to be. Clearly, like a lot of their matches that get all flippy like that were like straight up botch fests. and it's like, oh my god, like this is this is a mess. Oh god, like you have to like look away. You're embarrassed for everybody who's in the ring. Although Orange Cassidy getting knocked the fuck out. He got knocked the fuck out this week.
He looked like, you know, like when you go on a fishing trip and you like you pull a fish up onto the deck of the boat and it's just like.
No, he didn't even move that much.
That was fucking that was old orange juice over there.
He was sleepy time.
God bless America.
He was sleepy time.
And then Pac picks him up and power bombs him on top of it. It's
right
like,
on his neck.
Oh, and it was so brutal.
Oh god. It's sleepy time, and then like fuck your head even more. Like that was like I don't like Orange Cassidy, but even that was like, ooh, I don't know that he deserved that.
No.
You
guys, you got anything? You guys got anything else you want to talk about this week?
Pac's a bastard.
He is a bastard.
That's all. Bastard.
I got nothing.
All right. Hey, guys, and this was awesome. It was great to get the band back together here. Would have been a lot of fun last week, you know, me and Derek going back and forth. I think that would have been fun, but you know, the Tom filter wouldn't have been here. But yeah, well,
it's needed. It's necessary.
It is.
I would have been interested to see what it turned out to be.
You know what, pal? I'm actually kind of glad. Like looking, you know, once we got to get through this and do this, I'm kind of glad it didn't work out because, man, I just was so excited for this episode just because we had a week off and just to get the three of us together. Like, I'm glad it didn't work out. Way to be a piece of shit, Derek.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know who's the biggest piece of shit? Dave Meltzer. And Andrade. And Bruce Mitchell.
And Albert the River.
Albert the River, yeah.
So, with all that being said, if you're watching this, you know that we exist on the old YouTube. Please like and subscribe. You know, this one.
Twice.
Okay? It'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You can even click the bell.
You have extra accounts. Log in to the extra accounts.
Well, I have one. You have an extra account too.
Well, yeah, I mean, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Tell your friends.
We don't share
comment.
butts.
Tom will yell at you.
Yeah, Tom
I'll say
will yell
nice
at
things to you and tell you how nice you are.
I
thank you for all your time.
I'm the one that actually answers.
Maybe I'll tweet.
Tom just gets angry and looks at it all week and then says,
I don't
you know what? Chickerburger fricker can kiss my ass.
I'm not angry. I'm the least angry person.
Listen, pal, I would say that you tell me that you're not angry, but your track record, okay, it speaks to chaotic kindness. I'm gonna go with that.
So we're doing D&D.
Tom, you tried to kick an endangered species. You tried to kill an endangered species after it tried to kill you.
I don't think they're that endangered.
I don't want to hear you not being. Oh,
they're not endangered at all, Derek.
They're hunted for their blubber.
They're not.
Okay. Okay. Follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. You guys, I'll tell you what. This was good. I miss you guys. As always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
Peace out, people.